Good morning, everyone. This is Being Your Own CEO Success Circle, and this morning we have a nice topic for everyone. Beautiful day here in Victoria, BC, and we've in the green room. We've been discussing some of our understandings of how Hangouts and Hangouts on Air work, etc. But this morning we're going to chat about the changes that everybody seems to be talking about. It's called YouTube Red. And so there are a number of things that there's been quite a bit of buzz around. So we thought we would have a chat about that. But first, I think it would be really nice if everybody in the group here would introduce themselves, say where you are, what your business is, what you're doing, and any little announcement that you might like to make about something current. So Anna, you're on my left-hand end, so how would you like to begin? And you're muted.
Right, I was just trying to grab my logo and all that stuff. I never know how to quite do that. Anyway, yes, my name is Anna Fernandez. Oh, everybody that's on the call knows me.
But the listeners don't.
That's true. That's true. I'm in beautiful Mazatlan at the moment, where I spend my winters and summer in Victoria with all you wonderful people. And I specialize in air ambulance evacuation membership plans, and I also dabble on the side in digital marketing. So that's me.
Right on. We all dabble with that one on the side, Hannah. It's a constant learning curve. So, welcome, Anna. Glad you joined us. And the next in line is Craig. How are you this morning, Craig?
Good morning. Yes, we have a nice day going today here too, and that almost is scary, because it's going to turn any minute now. But we've got a sunny for a change, 70-degree day. Of course, I'm in the States, so we use different numbering systems down here. But it's a pleasant day, and so anyway, my business is Who Marketing. I'm here in Rochester, outside Rochester, New York, and I help local businesses with their online marketing efforts.
There was quite a bit of discussion about maps and local and pictures, uploading pictures and all kinds of things on Hangout I was listening to yesterday. So I'm sure that's
the only constant with that is change.
Spare change or change?
Change in general. I mean, it's a moving target. You can never figure out exactly what it is you want to do, because once you get it figured out, they change it.
Yep.
Well, that's what keeps us all alive, you know, is all that change.
Sometimes I'd like a little bit less of it so that I can explain it to the people that I'm working with, because they're totally confused. And yes, it's hard to keep up and keep abreast of all the changes and then be able to enunciate it to my clients.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
sure.
but if they weren't making all those changes, you wouldn't have any reason. They wouldn't have any reason to use your services. So,
Craig, I have a tip. I have a tip for you that could help you a lot with your clients, and it's something that I've done for myself and other clients. Is write out a checklist with screenshots and save it as just a straight doc and then a PDF for your clients. And then when things update, you just simply make the updates within it, and away you go. It'll save you a lot of time.
It's like a mini tutorial, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So nice to have you here, Craig. And we'll move on to Jay. How would you like to speak up?
Speak up. Hi, my name is Jay. My company is Affiliate Resources Incorporated, and I help people just like you get started in the world of online marketing. I dabble in online marketing too, although I dabble in it a lot.
More than a little bit, I would think.
And funny story, quickly this morning, I went to my bank to do some business, and I thought I would do something funny, and I told them that it was International Talk Like a Game Show Host Day.
You didn't.
And they totally soaked it in. So I'm thinking that all day today they're going to be talking like, I said you got to greet people when they come in like a game show host, you know? Hi there, welcome to TD Canada. And they started doing it. So
either that, maybe they're just being playful after Halloween.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so I don't know. So who knows? Who knows how long it'll last? I have this feeling I might go in at the end of the day and see if it's still happening. I don't know why I did that, but I don't know. It just dawned on me. It's like, well, let's mess with their heads since they mess with our finances so much. So. Oh
yes. Be happy you're not in Iceland.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So, anyways, that's me.
Welcome. Glad you're here with us, Jay.
Thank you.
And Nathan, last but not least, how would you like to introduce what you're up to these days?
Oh, well, yeah, as you know already, my name is Nathan. I'm in Ensenada down in Mexico. For the last 16 years, I've been a freelance writer, and I'm transitioning out of it, and I'm just taking a bold leap forward. And what I do is I show people how to free themselves from the thought patterns that cause suffering. My site is called, it's just nathansiegel.info, but the purpose is to show people how to attain inner peace, and that's what I'm all about. And the announcement to go with that is courtesy of help from Loa Ann here and one other person who's not here, Roland Takaoda. I have done a couple of Google Hangouts now, and it's been rather fun.
Yeah, it's got its complications, that's for sure.
Oh, yes. Headaches is another way of putting it, but yes.
Well, I guess I should introduce what I do. I do work style, lifestyle coaching, and I like to help solo entrepreneurs, or solopreneurs, as the new phrase seems to be coming up now, to stay focused and motivated, and to figure out ways to promote their business and keep their business productive and efficient. And so I host this Being Your Own CEO every Tuesday morning. I also give a 3-part beginners Google for Business program. And I must say, my announcement, if anybody has happened to have read my Monday Mindset blog this week, I decided I'm going to dive right into really learning Twitter. I spent the last year and a bit, really getting a handle on the way Google Plus works and the way Hangouts work. But I finally decided that as a result of a number of announcements that seem to be popping up here and there, that there's going to be a greater connection between Twitter and Google Plus.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so it's and within the Plus Your Business group, we've been talking a lot about how it's going to be important to know how Twitter works, and I mean, there are some similarities between Twitter and Google Plus, but from what I'm reading, there are quite a few differences as well. So So that's my goal and what I'm doing, and I picked up somebody's book on Google Plus, or on Twitter rather, and I'm working my way through it. So it's yeah, it's quite
an actual novel, like a hardcover novel on Twitter.
Not a novel.
Oh, okay.
It's called what the heck is it called?
So it's like a digital book you're talking about.
Yeah, I have it on my Kobo, so
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
But one of the things that I discovered is that it doesn't really pay to just sit down and read a book like that. What I've been doing is I'll read a bit and then I'll go into Twitter and look at what he's talking about and explore it and experiment with it. And so it's not just sit down and plow your way through it. It's sit down and work your way through it. But it's quite interesting, and I think it's going to be worth the time to do that. And while we're on the topic of that, I've given some thought to doing one of our morning success circles as a blab, and wondered how you folks would relate to trying that out. And if you were open to doing that, I would set it up and figure it out. So we can maybe talk about that a little bit more when we're finished recording, and work out the details. So, but I wanted to mention that just because Blab and Twitter are closely related. So it strikes me that if you're going to get really, really involved in Twitter, you better get really, really involved in Blab too. So this morning we were going to talk about YouTube Red. And from what I've been able to determine, it's something that Google has made an announcement not very long ago, and I think, Craig, you said that the deadline or the day of change was this week sometime. I never did see what that date was, but basically what they announced was that people who are partners, YouTube partners, and there is kind of a definition of what that means, I gather. YouTube partners would need to say that they want to opt into this YouTube Red, and if they don't, then all of their YouTube videos would be switched to private. In other words, they wouldn't be public any longer. Well, there was a lot of consternation about that, and the end result of that was that the viewer, what they're trying to do is ask the typical viewer of YouTube, if you want to be able to view all the YouTube videos without the ads, you can do that by paying $10 a month. So that really kind of created a stir as well. So I guess the piece that's important to understand is, what is a YouTube partner? And from what I've read, it means that if you have opted in to monetize your YouTube videos, in other words, get a commission from YouTube for for putting ads on your site and people seeing those, then that's what you do. So, and I see there's Roland. Good morning, Roland. Welcome. So there was a lot of real consternation, and I'm thinking of a person like Steve Dotto here in Vancouver. He makes a good portion of his living from the commissions that he gets from YouTube on all his videos. So that will be a big issue for him. But from everything that I've read, it looks as though anyone like myself or any one of you who are just posting YouTube videos from our Hangouts and so forth, as long as we haven't opted into that commission thing, that means that we're not a YouTube partner. So does that ring true to you, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah,
it just goes to show you should get feedback. It just goes to show you that you shouldn't put all your financial affiliate eggs in one basket. You know, so if you're an affiliate or you monetize your YouTube videos with commercials, et cetera, you know, you shouldn't. That shouldn't be your sole monetization. You know, it's always wise to distribute your affiliate, you know, financials across the web as opposed to just honing in one area. You know,
so where do you learn
I personally don't think it's going to be a huge hit, YouTube Red, personally, because there's so many other avenues where people pay a monthly subscription, like Hulu, Netflix, Apple TV, that are honestly much better for the dollar value, right? So, like, I personally don't mind having these commercials on my YouTube, because most of them, it's only 30 seconds, and the majority of the videos are only, you have the option to skip the ad, you know. In fact, I'm actually doing YouTube commercials for a client of mine, and our conversion ratio is wonderful because people are actually watching the commercial and taking action by clicking on it. So, you know, I think at the end of the day, YouTube Red is not going to be a big issue for a lot of people. So,
well, and I would agree with you, Jay. I mean, I react the same way. I really don't mind seeing those ads, but I certainly have heard other people, especially people who are not in business, they object to those ads. They have ad blockers and all kinds of things that you know, where they're trying to eliminate that. But
they're not going to pay $10 a month just to eliminate commercials. In fact, check this out. I'm gonna share my screen here, if you don't mind, real quick, just to show you a website that Google has, a new site that Google has here. Let's see. This is going to blow you away. All right. So this is called Contributor by Google. What this is it's basically a subscription-based by contribution to eliminate ads that you would see on other people's websites. So as you can see in this little animation, if you can quote-unquote contribute to Google Contributor, you will not see ads from Google, like AdSense, like it shows here. It'll just say thank you for being a contributor, and a portion of that money that you contribute would go to the people doing displaying those ads on their website. So it's supposedly a win-win situation. So here you go. So for $2 a month, a typical person will see 5 to 15% fewer ads. For $5 a month, 15 to 25%. For $10 a month, 25 to 50%. So for $10 a month, I'm still going to see some ads, but it's going to reduce. Like, is that not just the craziest thing you've ever seen?
It hardly seems worth the effort unless they
exactly.
Well, if they got rid of all the ads, then it would be worth it. And some of the pop-up blockers apparently can do that. So why would you pay them for that?
It's a cash grab situation.
Yeah.
Because some people are going to pay that $10.
Yeah, but I love how they say contribute? Like it's almost like donate. Would you like to donate to Google so we don't show you ads?
Patreon or something. My God.
Yeah.
I don't bloody well think so. How's that? You must be kidding.
I could see it working if they were A, blocking all of the ads,
Yeah.
and B, if they were paying directly to the people that were sponsoring the, if they took the entire revenue and sent it to the people that were opting out. I mean, why send a portion to Google? I mean, that just seems like
Yet.
It's really interesting. I want to pause our discussion here and give Roland an opportunity to say good morning and introduce himself.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's really, I would consider it fairly unnecessary. I just enjoy being here because you guys have such great conversations, and I learn something every time I come here. So I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you, Lolan. Hi, everybody.
Well, tell us what your business is and where to find you.
Okay,
This is a support for solopreneurs, so take advantage of it.
Well, I would say that it's R&D Hotline is a research and development scheme for entrepreneurs and people getting online to learn the internet, to start off in a place that's going to make sense to them. And we do the research so that they have answers before they get started, because so many people make a lot of mistakes going in. So we pride ourselves in educating the people. Therefore, we have a show called the Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties, and we have a bunch of people that come on the show and give to the public so we can learn stuff. So I learn as much from my own show as the people watching. And so the constant education is the best way to go, because everything's changing. I can't keep track of every little thing. But if what I can't do and what Molly can't do and what Karen can't do as my co-host, then some of my guests bring it on, and then also the talented and intelligent people in the audience bring a lot to the plate. So I appreciate the whole group.
Yeah, it's a great experience. So that's happens around noon hour on Saturday.
It's Pacific Daylight Time, 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, right on. So yeah, so this whole sort of Google thing. I mean, there was a lot of furor about how was that going to affect. So I really, from what I read, I couldn't really see that it was going to affect any of us with our little hangouts that we're doing, unless we were trying to monetize them. So, anybody else have any other concerns or any questions? Here's Craig, which always lands right in the middle of Saturday afternoon on something.
Oh, that's the time of my broadcast.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 11 to 4 o'clock, depending upon where you are in the Western Hemisphere.
Now, folks, you're using the internal chat room, but I do have Comment Tracker up, and if you wanted to put any comments in the community where the community watch now video is, and if you put comments there, it'll show up on the Comment Tracker. And while I think of it, does everybody know that how to make Comment Tracker work in a much, much simpler way than we've all been taught by Ronnie Benser? Does everybody know this? I think it was Michael Daniels, another chap that is very active in Google Plus and Hangouts. He discovered that if you create a unique hashtag and put it in the link, then it will act as the bird dog in Comment Tracker, and you just use the hashtag. So we had Ronnie Binzer had a really, really complex way of making that work, and Michael Daniels figured it out. All you need is a very unique hashtag. So it's a lot simpler.
Zara Altair of the Midweek Zap taught me how to do it in the standard way, and it's actually pretty easy. I mean, you have to do it a couple times, but you realize, oh, well, there's nothing to this. And you know, then there's the issue that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. As Zara Altair says, what's a hangout without a freakout? And you know, we're going to have problems in Hangouts in general, and Comment Tracker has definitely had its share. We had one show of the Smarties where I devoted the entire show to demonstrating what the comment gremlins were doing to my show and constantly causing us to have issues. And we actually did research and had a squad with Rain Dowell, Tim Longwell, and Bill Graham, and we got together in a hangout and said we're gonna find this gremlin and we're gonna give him the boot right now. And so we actually did. And what it happened to be was the settings in my Google Plus profile and community, you know, my community settings that caused all the hassles.
Really?
So yeah, wow. So people, depending upon your own settings in Google Plus, it affects the settings in Hangouts.
Laulan, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever, in a Hangout, have you ever used the YouTube feature, or have you ever been in a Hangout where someone has used the YouTube feature, where you're allowed to post a video and then everyone can see it all at once?
YouTube feature?
Well, you know, I'm like a plugin or whatever. You know, like on the side, there's a plugin, you know, similar to Comment Tracker, where you click it, and it's specifically for YouTube. And if you click it, and then you type in a video, you have the opportunity so that everyone can see the video all at once. Similar to when someone is doing screen share, you have the ability as a broadcaster to let everyone see that video or let that screen share.
No, if you listen to Ronnie Binzer really cautions people from trying to show another video inside your Hangout because of very stringent copyright rules. So that feature you're talking about, I've never heard of it because everybody simply says don't do it. So there's Roland, Ray. If you got something to add, I'm sure.
Yeah, generally speaking, it's just a bad practice to try to do it, but we've all tried to do it. And what we've discovered is that the YouTube app is applicable to non-aired Hangouts. So Hangouts on Air, it won't work because of that feature of the copyright law. You can get into a private Hangout or you can get into a regular video call and it'll often work for you, but it's not allowed in Hangouts on Air.
Well, that's why it's not showing up on my Hangout in the normal area, so that's quite interesting.
Right. If you try and do it on a Hangout on Air, you may get the video and it'll be choppy and there will be no sound.
Correct.
So we lost Nathan. He kind of disappeared out of the area. So I was hoping that we might sort of chat about a couple of other features that happen when you're doing. I guess it's a scheduled Hangout on Air. The Q&A, and there's a number of other things in there that many people don't kind of understand how to use them and so forth. So, but it's very useful to have this comment tracker, and it's not the one that comes that you see in the toolbox. It's another one that you have to download. So, but I've just, every time I've used this kind of unique hashtag and posted it into the posting where I've announced the Hangout, and then I get to see all of the comments that people make when they're there. So
I tried playing around with it, and then today there were several different tabs which I didn't know which one to post the comment in. So I just I gave up with my internet ADD and just went to the normal comment area.
Yeah. So I think we've kind of covered our topic this morning, unless anybody had anything else to add about changes in YouTube.
Well, I was wondering if Hangouts on Air are going to be affected, because if Hangouts on Air are recorded to your YouTube channel, I wonder if there's a way for you to have I wonder if there's a way to leverage that, honestly, as a subscription model for replays.
I haven't given it much thought. So I get.
So like where, take advantage, because YouTube Red, one of the features that they have, or they're going to have, is a subscription-based model where people can pay to subscribe to your channel ad-free, right? So I'm wondering if there's a way for you to leverage that so that you can literally have paid Hangouts, without any other fancy pants tools or anything like that can aid in that, so where people can subscribe for $10 a month to access all of your Hangout replays, So I'm trying to think of lemonades, turning lemons into lemonade here. So
yeah. And I think we've all given some thought around. I mean, if we wanted to monetize what we're doing, maybe a series of little hangouts on how to do things, etc.
Yeah.
And I know for myself that I've thought about that more from my website rather than right in the YouTube area. So there's a way to, I'm sure there's a way to do it that way, but yeah, that's a good question, and it's not one that has come up, and I guess it'll be, we'll just see whether we'll be able to do that, but I don't think when anybody looks at one of my Hangouts that they get any ads. Yeah, I think you have to, when you're uploading your YouTube, you have to, there's a setting there where you have to say that you want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can have a global feature where it says monetize all your videos, or you can ad hoc it and do it one at a time, or turn off advertising monetization, or turn on monetization one at a time, And I'm a publisher, but I choose not to monetize most of my videos because most of my videos are educational, based on I actually want them to do something or go somewhere at the end of the video. So I want action items. I want you to go specifically to this website, or I specifically want you to do this. I don't want them to click on the ad, because I'm going to make more profit if they follow my visual funnel that I'm that's the whole goal. So.
And I think that's the way most of us are thinking about it. I mean, the purpose, yes, we give our very best of knowledge in in whatever way we can give, with the hope that we develop that trust, so that people will visit your website.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if that scenario you just described would take people away from you further, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, like, I'm curious as to how YouTube Red would affect the SERPs. A SERP is a search engine result page. SERP. SERP. So, because YouTube videos are in search results. Okay, so if you Google how to use something, and then you see a video, how to tie an ascot. You Google that, and then the video will come up. But if they're part of the YouTube Red, I wonder if that result is going to go away in the SERPs. It'll be interesting. I don't think it's going to last that long. I really don't. I think it's going to be what I like to call a mud hut. So it's like they've tried to build it, and the first rainfall, it's going to just crumble away.
Well, and the other thing that I discovered is that from all the discussion, I went in and looked around, and it's not available in Canada yet.
That's correct. Yeah.
So
I have been checking to see if any changes have happened. I have, I don't know, 5 or 10 of my videos are monetized. The one with the chrysalis, where it changed to where the caterpillar changed to a chrysalis that you guys saw. I monetized that, and according to what I read, if I did not join Google Red or YouTube Red, it should be private, and it is not. It's still public, and it's still monetized, and it's still showing ads. So I don't know what's going on with it, but it doesn't seem to have changed anything.
I don't think it's going to change your ranking at all. I doubt it seriously. I think that would be like being held hostage by Google and YouTube, because they're owned by Google, right? I think that's being held hostage, and I don't think that they're going to cross that line. I could be very wrong, but Google makes plenty of money on their basic root focus of AdWords and their concept there. They don't need to monetize YouTube for that sake and try to snag us on the side. But I mean, it does make sense that they would try some kind of monetization scheme, but I don't think that they're going to hold us hostage.
I do know for a fact that Google right now is trying to lower their costs. They are cutting costs right now. I have a friend who works he's one of the chefs at Google in Seattle, and he's been telling me that they've been cutting a lot of their costs, their expenses and stuff. So he was asking, the irony of this, he was asking me if I knew anything, and he works at Google.
How to raise your bottom line, cut your costs.
Yeah, and inflate my ego.
Hey, that'll work,
It never hurts.
okay, Anna, did you have any comments or questions about YouTube?
No, I think, well, I asked before the on-air thing about the just setting up the Hangout for my private group, so I think I've got that straightened out. Thank you very much. But no, I haven't delved in it myself, but I have been thinking about it, and that's certainly got way too much on my plate to look at it right now. But
I have a question for Jay. Regarding how you monetize or not, no, I misspoke, I'm sorry. Regarding how you send people to your website from your video, what methodology do you implement for the lead to go to the website?
Yeah, so in the description area of the YouTube video, I put in right at the very top the full URL, the full website address, including the HTTP, where I say in the video, click the description. Inside the description is the URL. On occasion too, I will put in like a film strip with the actual URL in there. What I find works much better is actually having the full URL in the description right at the very top, because that actually makes it a hyperlink, a link where they can just click it, and then boom, off it goes.
Yeah. However, I'm kind of surprised that you're not using annotations or the YouTube video cards.
No, because they don't affect the SERPs. They don't affect the rankings. See, my goal is to get the video in the search engines, and and also increase my own ranking to the website that I have the video embedded. So, for example, I have I have a video and also an article called Google Sniper 3.0 Review. Excuse me.
Can you show us?
Yeah, sure.
And while you're doing that, I might say that we have just been given a really, really good SEO clue here. Make note.
I actually use the one that Jay's been talking about, part of it. So I'm familiar with what he's mentioning. I've used the URL of my site right at the very top. It's something I learned a long time ago. I forget who told me about it. But the other thing that I've learned about YouTube videos is that if you transcribe your entire video, or even part of it, as Roland and I were talking about the other day, and you post the entire thing in the description, or as much of it as you can, that's also going to help.
Yeah, I find my personal opinion on that, the transcription, is that it's too much effort for little reward.
It is a lot of effort, I agree. And
yeah.
I haven't been doing it that much, but I have done it a few times.
Yeah.
But the URL to your site right at the very top in the description, absolutely agree with it. I do it.
Yeah. So here's the term that I was, targeting right here, and then here's my website right here. Okay, so I'll open that in a new tab. And inside this page here is the video that I made. Now if I go to videos, you won't see it here, but if I go to YouTube, so there it is there. Okay. Now I'll click on the video here. I won't let it play.
Probably won't let you play it.
Oh, sure it does.
Let's see what we see.
So now right here is the link. So if I go show more, so it's an actual hyperlink here. So see, when you put in the full HTTP : / put in the full URL, it makes it a clickable link. Okay. And so when I click on that, that goes to that article. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result of this system that I did, is putting the link here, this is considered a very good quality backlink. Okay?
Yes.
Even though it's what's called a no-follow, right? I personally think no-follows are, I don't believe in no-follow. I think there's still just as much link juice in a no-follow link. Okay? Just real quick, what a no-follow link is, it's saying to Google, hey Google, here's a link, but don't go and follow that. Don't leak any of this ranking juice over to this website. So as a result of that, that is why I am ranked #1 here.
Right.
Is through that process. So make a video, embed it on your site, have a link pointing back to that article where your video is embedded, and the end result is that. Okay.
Okay, I agree with you, Nate, but I had an additional question to extrapolate out.
Okay.
With this, would you consider using the annotations?
Never. Yeah.
And because you think it cancels the juice that you use by dropping the URL in the details?
Well, let me get rid of screen share here. One of the reasons why I choose not to use annotations is because I never click annotations. I always click the X. So if I don't personally do it myself, I don't feel that it's necessary to do it in anticipation of other people, right?
That's interesting. I click on annotations.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
The idea of annotations is if you have a focused video offering something, and then you tell people, if you're interested in this, click the link in the video right here. They're more likely to do that than look down into the descriptions to find a URL.
Yeah.
So it makes it very easy for the viewer if they're interested.
But see, I want people to go to my, I mean, sure, I mean, we can argue about this all day, but my personal philosophy is that I want simplicity when it comes to whatever it is that they're viewing, reading, watching. And I find when you have distractions like annotations, otherwise known, I personally consider them like pop-ups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so,
Except for if it's not a pop-up, it's actually a directive, like the video is on a subject and your link is to the subject, and this is the easy click. That's not really a pop-up.
so if I had I understand. So if I had a choice between annotation to get a commission or link in the description for better rankings, I would choose the latter because it's a lot more evergreen.
Sure.
Okay.
But my question is actually, does one cancel the other? I mean, if you have the annotation going and you've got the description, is it hurting the link juice that the description link gave you, or is it just adding on to your overall stature?
I don't think it cancels each other out because the annotation is essentially embedded in the video,
Right.
so it's not crawlable. Whereas the link inside in the description is crawlable.
That's crawlable, right? So inevitably, it's whether or not the strategy of having the annotation or the YouTube card works for you in the end result, and if you get more click-throughs because of it. Because I think the link juice is one thing, and that's extremely important. Mm-hmm. But the actual action taken by the person watching the video, to me, is the critical element, because I want people to land on the page and or do the final conversion, at least from the objective of the video in the first place.
Yes. I did a test. I did a test with another video where I monetized the video. I did an ad, and I had the ad show up on my own video as an annotation. So I did a split test. So I did that, and then I also did the link in the description. I did one and then the other. The one that was the winner was the link in the description. So
I'll be darned, yeah.
Yeah, as a result of that, I mean, it's just I like to try to adopt my content in my video similar to the way Apple does it. Apple is probably one of the best examples of keeping things simple so that you can completely absorb the information that's being given to you. And I honestly think that when you don't have anything that disturbs that little box, that little 16 by 9 box, you have a really good example of getting people to do what you want instead of like all of a sudden, boom, imagine us having this conversation and then all of a sudden there's this thing that pops up like this. Like, how annoying would that be?
And I absolutely agree with you, and I would never use that sort of a strategy.
I forbid you.
I despise pop-ups. When I'm on a website and a pop-up comes up, I said, why did you do that to me?
I agree. They're so annoying. They're so intrusive and so annoying.
Even if it's so much more value in having a link in the description, right? There's twice the value easily. One is it's an actionable item. Two, I got to stand. Two is it says get up, stand up, Jay. You're sitting down too long.
Hey, go ahead, guy.
Well, I've got my stand-up desk right here. So.
I see.
So, yeah, the second one is that it creates a little bit of link juice for whatever it is you're trying to rank for. To me that just totally makes more sense as opposed to I'm the bull that walks down the hill instead of running down.
Yeah, I'm kind of like probably a casual stroll as I observe the path. So my conclusion is that I would definitely, of course, I use the approach that you have is putting the URL in the description. But my experience is that the action of clicking through to the final destination is more implemented by YouTube cards and annotations. If they're designed right, it's not an interruption of their thought, it is a continuation of the
Right.
thought of trying to close the person and give them easy access to what they're reading about and what you're describing in your video.
Yeah. See, my goal is to get people to my website, not to take action. I want them to convert to my site as opposed to convert to a commission.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I'm not much of a see it, buy it, and see you later type of guy. I definitely want to build a community, so I'm behind you 100% with that concept.
So.
Well, this has been this little part of the conversation has been just invaluable. I certainly, I must admit that in the descriptor, I've been using kind of like hashtags and you know, kind of keywords, but I don't know why it never occurred to me to put a clickable link in there.
Yeah.
So
let me tell you this: that website that you saw, my affiliate resources site, at one point actually ranked for the term scam. Just scam through the efforts that, because I checked this out in Google Analytics, or sorry, Google Webmaster Tools. So just the word scam. So, and this is the result. This is the result. Pardon me?
Did you do a Google bomb?
No.
Remember that from last? For those who aren't familiar with it, it was something that happened a number of years ago, and if a whole bunch of people did some sort of posting on a particular keyword, you could cause the site to rank a certain way. And the way it was used, which I loved, is if you typed in the words "miserable failure," the #1 link was to the office of the President of the United States, George Bush, at the time. I checked it, and that's how I know it was for real. It was really funny.
That is hilarious.
No, I honestly, I didn't target the word scam, you know,
Okay, cool.
And it's just the result. Not what that's called. It's called an LSI. It's called a related keyword. So, as the result of your efforts of what you do, you get ranked for other keywords. So at any rate, and it's because I've got the word scam in my site a few times, right? Using links and whatnot. But that's just the result of doing what I do. It's, you know, and one example of creating really good quality search engine optimization or optimized pages is doing what I just showed you, is creating hyperlinks inside the description of your videos. And it's extremely important that you put in that http:// don't just put www. your domain, because then it's not clickable. And then there's no point to having the domain. So it's very important that you put in that HTTP.
So where was your link on Google for this? I just typed in scam for the fun of it.
Oh yeah, it went to. It's not ranked anymore. I mean, this was about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
I don't know. I actually don't know how it ended up there, but
The funny
I
part
did.
is that
If you Google Neil Patel scam.
yeah, sure.
I'm ranked for that, you know, for number one in that. But here, I'll show you real quick here.
You're gonna laugh, man. If you type in scam, you're gonna find two posts from myself.
There you go. See,
I'm just going. You're kidding me. But literally, they're two posts that I did. And it looks like they're both in Google Plus of all things.
Well,
Well,
you're going to get
but
a different search result than other people.
Yeah, you are. You're.
Craig's ranked for scam. Look at that.
You need to go in as incognito. Otherwise, Chrome will find all. Well, I'll find all kinds of things that you.
Yeah. You can just also click this little button right here.
I didn't know that. How do you do it incognito? This is interesting.
Go File, New Incognito Window, like this.
Hold on.
Oh,
yes, I see it. Got it.
If you go to settings, there's a place there too.
Got it. Found it. I didn't know that. I've seen that setting before, but I never knew what it meant.
Right.
Now, Jay, the reason that you saw me ranked for that was because you're following me on Google.
I know. I was just kidding.
And Google customize your results to include me because you're following me. Just so everybody knows that That's why it showed up.
Interesting. I had no idea about this. Wow.
Yeah.
Boy, the ins and outs of search engine optimization. Holy smokes!
I had no
Yeah.
idea about this. It's very interesting.
So here's another quick example. So I just Googled the term quick sprout, which is
Oh,
by Neil Patel. But look at the result. Look at the number 3 result right here. That's my site right there.
Oh, wow!
Yeah,
And that has to really tweak Mr. Patel.
it really does.
nah, come on. He's number one. You can't get better than number 1.
So, but it's not a positive review of this product.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I called it a total scam, which it was, at the time, because it was a bait and switch, right? I bought the product expecting that it was going to be actually Neil Patel teaching the videos, but it was someone else, totally someone else doing the videos. So that's why I said Quick Sprout University Review, total scam.
Ooh, how?
So when I go Quick Sprout, when you Google just even his brand, I'm on that first page right there, right?
Yeah, I'll bet that.
Oh, and well, you know what? Now the Quick Sprout product is free, so as a result of that.
It's it's interesting
That's
about
great.
that because I wound up in a deal with another marketer who pulled a bait and switch like that, and I've been not inclined to follow anything he does ever since that little.
Yeah, yeah,
So I really appreciate where you're coming from on that because it happened to me too.
yeah.
And after that, I've never, even though I know the guy's got great stuff, I've never been able to trust him after that.
He supposedly left a comment on the site, and it's funny because it's actually his excuse was something like there's hundreds of comments here. Oh, here it is. First of all, I would like to tell everyone that is that those who aren't satisfied with the training program should contact me within 30 days. Blah blah blah. I am concerned about what people think of me and my brand, so let me take care of it by replying to each and everyone here at my email. Cheers, Neil. And so also the videos which are produced by Brian Dean, which is the person doing the videos, are totally under my control, quote, my ideas and all. The reason why I'm not showing up in the video because of my accent. Anyways, I would to know more about it so I can improve as much as possible. Have you guys, and if you actually Google Neil Patel on YouTube and you watch one of Neil Patel's videos, he has no accent.
Oh.
So in other words, he's just being self-conscious about his
No. I did a who is of the IP address that left this comment, and it was from somewhere overseas where Neil couldn't have been left this comment. This was by someone else who just used Neil's email.
Oh, you're kidding. That's really that's
something ingenuous about this whole scheme.
It's a diehard Neil Patel fan. It's like,
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget what the expression is for it, but I've encountered that kind of thing. It's happened on Amazon multiple times.
Yeah.
Fake positive reviews and stuff like that, which they frown on big time.
Yeah. So at any rate.
Interesting.
So there's your SEO lesson for the day, kids.
Well, and I truly appreciate that lesson. That was really worthwhile.
Imagine what's going to happen when we do the affiliate thing at the at the meetup. I'll blow your mind.
Well, I won't be there, so you're going to have to
record that for me.
Well, maybe we'll have to do a repeat of some sort after the fact, if you're willing, Jay.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
So, but I have a quick question about this whole thing. So if you're doing targeted search for product stuff that you want to do, or you want to do targeted search for your own brand. So would it be wise to go into the incognito mode to do it so your results don't get skewed in any way?
Well, I mean, Google tries to personalize your results. So
Right.
if you Google something repeatedly and you click on a website repeatedly, it will bring up that website.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So the best way to do it maybe through keyword research and check things out that way, as opposed to using this.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
So we are at the top of the hour, folks,
That was fast.
and I can see through little comments popping up that people have other things to do. So it's time to wrap up today's conversation. Just with a reminder to please join the Being Your Own CEO community. You'll find lots of resources and conversations there. And if YouTube is your pleasure, I do have a channel there that you could join as well. So this is Lowell Ann signing off for today.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me this morning.
Sounds good. Thank you, Lowell Ann.